You guys are here with the film Straight White Male, right? For people who don't know about the film, can you tell us a little bit about the story, please?
Sure. Straight White Male is about two guys that are transitioning from female to male genders. We were both the same age when we started, and we had the same surgeons, and we were pretty much in the same process hormonally as well. So we wanted to have a compare and contrast between two guys in the same situation and how different your life can be depending on what's happening in your world. So really it's about, even though you may look like you're coming from the same circumstance, the outcome is totally different.
Now, were you guys friends, or how did you know each other?
So in order to find somebody, I actually interviewed about 20 different people. I found a lot of people on MySpace and Facebook and tried to figure out people that had similarities as me and if they were the right age. And so it really was about a year-long process to find the right person to be in the film. And I hadn't met him before. We met up 4 days before surgery, and we started filming.
Before your double mastectomy?
Yeah, before. Yeah, so before our what's called top surgery, our double mastectomy, we met up 4 days before that and started shooting the film.
Wow, I see. So how long has this whole process taken? I mean, like, have you documented this from the very beginning, or how long did it take?
So we started documenting it before we started transitioning, and then so it's been about 6-year project as of last month. So so 6 years. I took a couple years to write it and kind of get an idea of what we wanted and the right framework and things like that. And then we just started filming, picked up a camera and started going.
And I'm sorry, you can introduce yourself for me, please, and tell us about your role in the production.
Great. So my name is Khalifa Weiss, and I started working, I think, the end of 2008 with Tyler. At the time, I was running a community TV station. He was coming in and renting cameras, and we started to talk about the project, and I was so interested in the project. And so since then, I've been shooting with Tyler with his family events and his wedding, and then started editing a few years ago. And I just finished editing the film this February.
That's great. And did you have any kind of technical experience with filmmaking beforehand, or was she really kind of invaluable to you for that?
Yeah, I had absolutely no technical experience. I didn't even really know I wanted to make a film. I had a friend who was kind of a TV station manager, and he said, you know, you're really at a pinnacle in your life, and should you be socially documenting this? And I was like, what are you talking about? You know, so he basically said, you can rent the camera for this much, start writing things down, and just go. So it took about a year to write it down, and then we went forward from there. I rented the equipment from him, and I didn't even really know how to operate a camera at that point. So that's where it started. And then Allie came in because I really got to the point where I knew I didn't have the technical experience, and so we started collaborating after I knew that we had gotten to a certain point in the film where it just couldn't go anywhere without her. So
not only are you telling your story, but you went to film school at the same time, right? That's pretty much what happened?
Yeah.
Perfect. So why is it that you wanted to tell the story?
Well, I think that this is kind of an ongoing question for most people, like why put yourself out there like this? And part of the reason is that it was really from a place of anger to begin with. I was so tired of being represented by people, like by transgender people that were being promoted as, you know, these sexual deviants and radically political persons. And so I wanted to show another side of the transgender story. Not everybody's out there, you know, waving flags and engaging in, you know, BDSM and things like that. But the media has a way of kind of over-sensationalizing the sexual and the political elements. So I think that I just wanted to tell, you know, people that there are normal people transitioning and making a life this way. So that's really where it came out of, and it grew from being in anger to really just understanding that everybody's human beings, and that even the people that engage in that kind of behavior, they're human beings too, and it's part of their experience. So it really has been a growing process for me. But really it started out of anger, just being misrepresented or feeling like I was being misrepresented in the community. So
did you ever have moments where you're like, oh, this is just too personal, I can't show this? And so it was good to have her input to say, well, no, you've got to show it, you know? So
yeah.
How did that work?
Yeah, you can comment on it. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
First of all, Tyler's been incredibly courageous even just to show his story, you know, and there definitely have been moments where it's like, Khalifa, I don't want you to add that, and what about this? And, kind of like a little like tug of war between both of us. But I mean, if you see the film, it's really just a human story. And Tyler's just like an average American guy in a lot of ways. Like he's amazing and courageous, but he's not like out there trying to be a radical. And so that's what the film is really about. It just shows the story of this guy who's just like a kind of an average American guy who's, putting himself out there, and it's not a freak show. It's not, it's just like, it's really a human story. So I'm really excited for people to see that side of it.
I think too that the personal element for me was really hard. It was a really hard part of this process. You had to make sure that you were, clear about what story you were trying to tell, because really we had so many hours of footage, and we really had to narrow it down into one small film, an hour and 20 minutes, and it's hard to tell a life story in an hour and 20 minutes, and so we really had to pick and choose what the story was going to be, and I think that element of it was hard because there's so many ways we could have gone with it, and so the personal element was definitely an ongoing factor in our decision making. So.
But that's pretty courageous of you, though, and it's. How do you think you guys have changed as people from making this movie?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'd never expected that. No, it's okay. I feel really honored to be a part of it. It's kind of surreal at this point that the whole thing is finished because we have been working on it for so long. It feels like we're just like birthing this thing. Like we're looking at each other and we're like, we made this,
Yeah.
Like it's pretty incredible. And having people at the premiere,
How did we get here?
So it feels like, I feel a little mature, and I feel like I really accomplished something, and we really accomplished something. It feels good. It feels like, like I just graduated or something. It feels really good. Yeah.
Well, I think too that we were so blown away that a venue like Artivist picked us up. It's our first showing, it's our world premiere, so I think that we were just so blown away by Artivist being willing to have us that we're just honored to be here. I mean, we're just taking it all in and trying to figure out what our next step is,
So. I was going to ask you that. Well, first let's talk about Artivist. What's it been like working with them and being a part of a festival like this? It's a pretty unique festival.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to answer that or no?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. Just tonight, everyone's been super accommodating. When the projectionist was helping me up top, just like figuring out a few little things before the showing. And yeah, it's been great. I'm really glad to be here. I met the two founders, Bettina and her. Yeah, they're so sweet. I'm excited for the Q&A afterwards. Everyone's been really good, really great.
Yeah. What was the question? Go back again?
About Artivist and your experience with the festival.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's not a lot of festivals that combine.
Yeah, it's. I feel like it was the way it was supposed to be. Like our premiere was supposed to be here because I think that this is really unique and our story is really unique. And combining art and activism can sometimes be really hard. There's a fine line, and so I think Artivist is. Doing that,
venue.
It's a perfect venue, and they're doing it in the best way that they can. And so I really think that we've had a positive experience.
Great. And what's up for the film then? Have you submitted to other festivals? And I guess if you could give the website, tell people where they can go to learn more information about future screenings.
Sure. Well, we're just about ready to submit to Sundance, so we're going to do that. Submissions are open, so we wanted to get through this hump first and get it screened, and then now we're just going to aim high. And so next up, we're trying to get into Sundance. We've got a couple local festivals where we come from up in Northern California where we're trying to get it screened up there. But we're really just going to try to go big with it and see what happens. Okay, yeah. Our website is www.grace-productions.com. So grace-productions.com. Yeah. Okay.